When it comes to the word adversity and overcoming struggles, one name sticks out in particular. Derek Anderson, former NBA champion, gold medal Olympian, and entrepreneur. I actually had a chance to sit down with Derek himself and discuss his life struggles and his success now. Hey Derek, how are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm doing great. So first things first, I understand you grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. That's the same place I'm from, so we share a little bit something in common.
Absolutely. Good hometown in Kentucky.
Yeah, it is. So did you always know you wanted to play basketball? Or was it like part of your upbringing? Did you always know you wanted to?
I think I was kind of forced into basketball. I had a tough childhood, so only outlet I had was basketball, some kind of sports. And I wound up flourishing in basketball more than football and kind of hanging out in the neighborhood. So I was kind of pushed to that. And then after I realized I had a little bit of talent, I decided to stick with it and just go and see how far it would take me. And it took me a lot further than I thought.
So the way you grew up, you had I guess so to speak, maybe a rough childhood, but you kind of like overcame adversity, overcame obstacles. So you had a child when you were 14 years old. How were you able to fend for yourself and fend for your child? That's very hard. Most people would probably lose it.
Yeah, it was very tough. You know, walking around the neighborhood with your 1- and 2-year-old son, going to school, wearing the same clothes. But I always try to stay clean. I carried a toothbrush, and deodorant in a plastic bag, and I made sure we were clean. You know, I worked up 2 jobs at the candy store and a paper route.
So when you graduated from University of Kentucky, you were round 1, 13th pick overall, and you got picked to go to the Cavaliers, if I can say that right. How did that feel? I mean, being in the NBA, playing for the NBA, all the momentum, all the excitement.
Well, the NBA was fun. You know, I was blessed to get to that point, but that wasn't what I was really in for, to play basketball. I was in for the passion of the game. And back then, guys played for the passion. There was no big contracts or anything. They were just basically guys playing a game that they loved. They got opportunity to make a dream of playing in the NBA, but I was just happy that I was able to continue to play basketball. I had 2 torn ACLs. I didn't know if I was going to ever play again, and wound up playing 11 years in the NBA.
Well, let's fast forward to the future a little bit, or the present, shall I say now. So you signed a shoe deal with Michael Jordan. I mean, how does it feel to sign a shoe deal with one of the most greatest NBA basketball players of all time? I mean, it's Michael Jordan.
I know. It was rewarding. It was funny because when I first met him, I walked into an office and he was sitting there and he said, "Hey, DA." He called me my nickname. And I'm like, how's this guy know me? But obviously he had watched me and saw how hard I worked and how hard I faced adversity and how I overcame that.
So let's talk about a little bit of your book, if I can get it out. So you wrote this book called Stamina. I mean, exactly what it stands for, stamina. I mean, the title speaks for itself. Talk a little bit more about your book.
Well, I just wanted to help other people. Like I said, people have been in my situation or worse, and all they needed was to keep going. They wake up and like, I'm never going to make it, and then the next day they wake up. Because you have stamina. It's because you kept going, and eventually something will turn. But if you give up, you'll lose every single time. And to me, about stamina is about making sure that I've won middle school champions, high school, college. I've won at every level, and it's because I never stopped. I've had injuries, no family members seeing. Well, my parents never seen me play. Right. I've had every excuse, you know, to say I quit. But that's not what champions do, and I refuse to quit on anything that I do. So it's just part of what makes everyone survive. Is everyone has stamina because you're here today.
Right. You can get your own copy of Stamina at Amazon.com, or you can go to Derek's website at DerekAndersonWorks.com. And for more content from me and Derek's interview, go to my YouTube channel, Kenesha Cook.